Hi, I'm Ailbhe McDonagh. In this video, we are going to be learning how to approach a piece called Cowboy from It's a Cello Thing, Book 1, published by Boozy and Hawkes. This is one of my favourite pieces in this book. It has a number of really fun features, including the marking at the very top, which says swung. So when you're asked to play two quavers in a swung fashion, it's slightly different than how it looks on the page. So this piece is in 2/4 and it's in the key of G major. So if you looked at it and played it just the way it looks without noting the swung marking at the opening, you would play continuing like that. So it's pizzicato from the beginning and we're plucking. Now originally in our pizzicato video, we never talked about how to do pizzicato while holding the bow. So this is a great piece in which to practice this. Again, we hold the bow with just our 3 fingers here holding the frog of the bow. And you can see my first and thumb are free to do what they like. So it's the same principle. You put your thumb on the side ridge of the fingerboard, quite low down to where the bow almost is playing. You don't put your thumb under the fingerboard, but just on the side. And then your first finger is free to play, etc. So this swung rhythm is very interesting because the way you can see it's written at the top, that 2 quavers equals a triplet crotchet followed by a triplet quaver. So listen to this. So what I'm really doing is I'm counting 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So you can see I'm splitting one beat into 3 triplet quavers. And then simply what we do, even though we look at it and it looks like straight quavers, when it's marked swung, we simply play it like that in triplets. So it's like a triplet crotchet followed by a triplet quaver. 1 and 2 and. Keep playing with me now. And then you get ready to play with the bow. So that's quite a fun first section. So how do we go from pizzicato to playing with the bow? So I like to do a little thing I call quick draw, where I have my fingers pizzing on the side, and then I immediately go back to the bow hold. Back to the pizzicato, back to the bow hold. So in this piece, you have 2 beats to get there. So if you practice quick draw like this, sometimes it's more successful than others for me, then you'll have ample time. So we've got 1, change. So that's a good little spot to practice. Don't always start at the beginning of a piece and practice from there. Take out the little moments that you know you need to practice. Changes between transitions like this, when we're going from pizzicato to arco. Then in this middle section, the arco is in a slurred bowing. So we've got quite a lot of string crossings as we do our slurred bowing. So have a look at this. How do I get that really, really legato? So on the first 2 notes, I've got my 4th finger C on the G string, but I also have my first finger prepared and ready to play on the D string. So as I cross the string, it sounds very smooth. Let me show you what happens if I don't prepare that first finger. So you hear this in the middle, because I almost let my 4th finger go before I had changed to the next string. Whereas here, if I have both fingers down, I only have to worry about what the bow is doing, which is an anti-clockwise circle. So that's our first bar. Now look at this. Fourth finger. Another anti-clockwise circle. So anti-clockwise. Keep going over. Good. Another anti-clockwise string crossing. These ones are easier because there's no string crossing. Now, in this bar that we get to, you can see I have 2 up bows written, but it's still under what you call a slur. So usually if we have 2 notes that are the same with something that looks like a slur on top of it, then it's called a tie, and it usually means that you don't play the second note. But in this case, it has 2 up bows, and you can see it has 2 little lines on top of each note. So that simply means that you re-articulate the up bow, sort of like in Barinya, what we did earlier. So have a look. So you slow down the speed of the bow, stop. So I'll go from the bar before. Good. String crossing. So do you see what I did there? There's a little cross over this pizzicato marking in the second last line. So as I played, I'm actually pizzing with my left hand. So anytime you see that little cross on top of a note, it means left hand pizzicato. And here, that means I can really play the F sharp to the end of the note, and then get back with my quick draw in time for our last phrase. If you would like to play this with the piano part, these are all available on Spotify and Apple Music, all free for you to play with the accompaniments on It's a Cello Thing Book 1. You can also find a link below this video for the sheet music. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below.